Good day. This is aging maven aficionado Amy K. Gaskin, and today I'm joined by Deborah Shouse, and we're going to be talking about adding joy by bringing the outside in. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Amy. I'm delighted to be here.
Me too. I'm glad you're here. So why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself, and we'll go from there.
Great. Well, Amy and everyone, I am a writer and a speaker and a dementia advocate, and I love to dabble in all different kinds of things. So I've just completed my first novel, An Old Woman Walks into a Bar, which I'm very excited about.
Me too.
Oh, thank you, Amy. And prior to that, I've written a couple books about finding the blessings in living with dementia and staying connected through the dementia journey. So one of those books is Love in the Land of Dementia, and the other one is Connecting in the Land of Dementia. And so when my mom had dementia, she was an outdoors person, as I am. And she came to a point where it was complicated for her to go outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
And I really started thinking about how do we bring the outdoors in? And how do we keep that feeling that I know I get when I go outside of awe and wonder and discovery
Mm-hmm.
and in playing with nature? So I've done a lot of research on that. And one of the people I interviewed when I was working on my book is Gareth Chalfront. And I just want to read you guys one little quote from him because he says it so well. He says, nature-oriented activities promote brain neuroplasticity and help us dream, experiment, and learn. So I love that. And I want to tell you a few of the things I've learned from different people on how they've been bringing the outside in. So the first is a couple from England. And when they love to go to the seashore, but when they could no longer do this, they created the seashore on their back porch. So how did they do that?
Yes.
Well, first of all, it started with the husband asking his wife, he was the care partner, what kind of sandwich do you want to take with you to the beach? Because they always made sandwiches, and they made either cheese or tuna fish.
Mm-hmm.
So she chose the sandwich, cheese, and he made the sandwich with her and took their regular drink, lemonade. And then they strolled to their back porch where there were two beach chairs and there was a tub of sand that he had warmed up. So, of course, we know when we're on the beach, we need sunscreen.
Yeah.
So he used their same sunscreen. There you have the aroma, the familiar smell.
Yes.
He turned on the sound of waves. He helped her take off her shoes. She put her feet in the warm sand. She ate her cheese sandwich, listening to the sound of the waves. And they did all of that right in their own house.
Oh, that is amazing.
I know. And that is a beautiful example of what you can do. It doesn't cost any particular money, just takes a little creativity, and you've engaged all the senses. Yes. Another couple of friends of mine were avid bird watchers. So when they could no longer go out on these long bird watching hikes, they decided to rearrange their living room so that they had comfortable chairs facing the windows, and they put bird feeders outside, right outside their windows.
Oh, nice.
And then they had their signature thermos of coffee that they always took on their early morning bird watching hikes. And they also had cookies, and a very important part of the trip. Yes. So they had the food part is important for all of us. So they had their signature foods. They had their bird book. They had their binoculars.
Yeah.
And they sat in their living room and looked out the window at the birds. And they discussed the birds. And it was, again, something so connective, something they both love to do. So I think it's really worth thinking about when you have something you love to do outdoors, and all of us change as we grow older. Our physical abilities change, our cognitive abilities can change, anything can change.
Right.
And that adaptability to taking
Yes.
what we love and figuring out, okay, how can we do it now?
And do it with all five senses.
And do it with all five senses.
Then
So
brings more meaning to it.
it does. It does. Another beautiful example from a woman named Mara Batonis, who's written a great book on staying connected also. Her dad loved to play golf. And when he couldn't walk all the course, his friends would take him out. And when that didn't work, they took him out, his family took him out on the early morning golf course with permission so he could smell the new mown grass. As you said, the senses are so important. He could feel the wind and he could have that sense of doing that. Gardening is another fabulous example and something you can easily bring inside with potted plants, even bringing in, having a tomato plant that you can transfer indoors. So you have the taste of the tomatoes. And then you can also share those with other people.
Yeah.
And we've done memory cafes where we've had, and this is something that could be very intergenerational.
Yeah.
We had with a Girl Scout troop. So the Girl Scouts gathered pine cones and acorns and leaves and brought them into our memory cafe. And then we all made collages with these natural substances.
Oh, wow.
And so what I love is that, they're very tactile. And so we had a lot of different feelings from the pine cones, from the leaves. They brought in some soft grasses, some feathers. And as we're talking and gluing, a lot of memories come up. So these are not only tactile experiences, but they're emotional, spiritual, and cognitive experiences where we're tapping into that part of the world that we love. So, and I bet this is something that the people who view this will have ideas about too.
Yes, my mind's already going, thinking, man, there's a lot of senior living communities and senior centers here in the area, and they can't do what they used to do. But I think that bringing the outside in to do an activity and an art project would be fabulous. And I'm still in awe about our last time we spoke about laughter, because I can see a lot of these laughter exercises too.
That's right. One more thing is flower arranging. So that is something, again, very tactile, very artistic, something that a person can have complete control over. And that's something you can use wildflowers. It doesn't have to be fancy store-bought flowers, but it can be.
Yeah.
And again, I think all of these are so creative and empowering. And that's what I think we all want to feel. And they're all things that people of any age can do together.
Yes, I used to take my granddaughter for a walk, and I would have her make a bouquet for her mom, and we'd pick different flowers along the way. And we used to bring back different pine cones and do art projects together. Those are great memories.
Yes.
And especially with flowers, because you can smell them. My mother is very into gardening, and she has a whole patio full of flowers and inside stuff. And so in the winter, when she brings them all in, you could barely walk through her patio because of all her plants. But yeah, so she always likes the outside coming in. I kill everything. I don't seem to be able to grow any flowers or plants in my house, but I didn't get her green thumb or my Uncle Alan's green thumb, but
you got the appreciation.
I have the appreciation of it.
And thinking about your mom flowers, another easy thing people who have a yard can do is make little points of conversation in your yard. So have a sitting place in your yard and maybe a bird bath, or we have some little flying fish in our yard. We have a flamingo, just something to look at. So you can go outdoors, you can do art outdoors, you can have a little tour even of just your yard, but there's something interesting to look at and talk about.
I saw the other day on Facebook, a grandfather made a car track in the grass. He actually cut it out so it was indented, and then it was like a figure eight, but a lopsided one. So inside the circle, he had all sorts of little trees and plants that he planted and everything. And then he could sit and watch his grandchild play in the yard. And I thought that was brilliant, because I've seen so many times where, you get that little rug type thing to put in the house so you can draw the cars around. But this is outside where the kids want to be anyway.
Yes.
And so, I really liked that.
Yes. So limitless ideas on this, as in many other things, about how you can still, stay connected in your personal favorite ways with nature. And
Right.
I love thinking about that. And of course, animals are another part of that, as we mentioned, the birds, but even, having a pet that you're walking is a great way to connect with neighbors and strangers too. And having a friend who has a pet you can connect with and walk is also another delightful way.
I look forward. My office faces there's my front street, and there's a woman that actually is from New Hampshire, where I'm from, and we live in Florida now. But she comes by every day walking her dog in her little motor scooter, and I look forward to seeing her. And I always make sure. And when she doesn't come around, I kind of worry about her. But so she walks her dogs every day. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's important to get outside because it gives you a sense of, you're not alone in the world. And when you can't go outside, bringing the outside in makes a lot of sense. I know a lot of people will, I've been to some assisted livings where there's a whole room that looks like the beach. So it has a mural, the sounds of the beach, the smells, there's suntan lotion, there's beach chairs in the room. There's a sand table. I wish they had sand on the floor. That'd be cool because I'm one of those people that like to have my feet in the sand.
Me too.
Yeah, although I love water, and I would swim all the time and swim with fishes all the time. But I'm one of those barefoot people that I like to have my feet in the sand and the dirt and all that stuff because I like to feel nature with all my body. Apparently.
Well, I love that, Amy. And the sand makes me think of the opposite. One of the care communities I know of brought in snow during the winter, and they even there's a place that makes things that feel like snow.
Yeah.
So people got to make a snowball, make a little snowman,
yeah.
feel the snow. And so it's lovely to think of all the different seasons and what connects us to the seasons,
right?
And to have that available to all of us.
Yes. And so, there's a lot of great senior living communities that will bring the different seasons in and the smells of the season and everything. So that's important. Yeah. So, anything else you can tell us about bringing the outside in?
Well, I think I've heard of people who have brought the jungle in their house by music, food, different kinds of plants on their porches. So that's another one. Also, I think, pictures, going through magazines and looking in that way, or bringing in fragrant like pieces of pine during the right season. Anything that we can touch, we can smell, we can experience. Yeah. So, yes.
That is amazing. I am so glad you came on today. And I just want to remind everyone about the books that you have available.
Oh, thank you. Yes, there's even more ideas in connecting in the Land of Dementia.
Oh, good. So DeborahShouseWrites.com. And that's house with an S in the front, DeborahShouseWrites.com. You can go and explore the books she has written, as well as I think they're available on Amazon, you said, right?
They are.
Okay, that's great. And I can't wait to have you on again. And again, I'm going to continue reading this book. It is absolutely amazing. I love it.
Oh, good. You'll have to give me a report when you're done, Amy.
Oh, I will. And I can't wait for my mom to read it.
Oh, goody.
Yes.
Good.
So thanks again for coming on my show. Again, this is Aging Maybe Aficionado, Amy K. Gaskin with Deborah Shouse. And we talked about adding joy by bringing the outside in. So thanks again, Deborah. Have
Thanks,
a great
Amy.
day.
I will. I'm going outside now.
Yay, me too.